Today we are brewing the beer that has always eluded us.
The one that got away, the Eisbock.
We finally did it!
Oh, shakalaka!
Hi, I'm Martin Keane. I'm taking the Homebrew Challenge to brew 99 beers. I have with me Hernan. Hernan, can you explain what is an Eisbock?
So the Eisbock we're doing today, we're going to start with a doppelbock recipe. Same process, we're going to cool it down to nearly freezing, and then we're going to concentrate and get the good Eisbock out of the fermenter. Yeah,
so what we'll end up with is a much more, I don't want to say distilled, but a much more concentrated beer than we start with.
Remove the water.
Yeah, who wants the water? We're just keeping the alcohol, the good stuff.
For this recipe, we're going to use 8 pounds of German Pilsner and 7 pounds of dark Munich.
Yeah, and then on top of that base malt, we're going to add a couple of specialty malts, mainly for colour, also for that sort of toasty roastiness that we want from the beer. So that's 1 pound of Caramunich III and 4 ounces of Carafa II. So small. So while we are mashing, we thought it would be fun to try a commercial example of this beer, and I was really excited that just one day I stumbled across a commercial Eisbock, and I've never seen one before. I don't think they're easy to find. Have you ever come across one of these?
No, first time.
Yep. So this is from Germany. It is 12%. I have no idea how old it was.
It looks like muddy water.
It looks like muddy water. It smells a bit like port to me. Something, you know, some very...
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't smell like beer, let's put it that way. Whew.
Fruity.
That's intense.
Wow. It is strong flavor.
It's pretty strong.
And it's good, it's strong, good. It's not nothing, it's just too much.
I couldn't imagine drinking a whole bottle by myself of this.
It's a dessert beer.
Yeah, like sipping dessert. We are brewing 4.5 gallons of this thing. I mean,
yeah, I'd be happy if we get to something of this character. All right, well, back to work, man.
Back to work. Alright, so let's talk about the hops for this beer. We are going for an IBU of 30. The way we're going to get there is with some German noble hops. So I have here 1.25 ounces of Perle hops. Those go in at 60 minutes, and then at 20 minutes I will add ½ an ounce of Tettnang. In fact, it's time to put the Perle in now. The yeast for this beer is just like the previous doppelbock we made. It's 2308, which is Munich lager. Add this at 50 Fahrenheit. So I think that's the easy part done. We will let the beer ferment, cold crush it, move it into a keg, and at that point turn it into an ice beer.
Now it's cleanup time.
Fun. So it's been about 7 weeks since brew day. That beer, once it got done, was cold crashed and then transferred into a keg where it's been sat at 35 Fahrenheit for weeks. This morning I moved that keg into this chest freezer here, which is set to -3 Fahrenheit. So I think this is the part that's really a bit of a balancing act, because while we want to freeze the beer to condense it. I don't want to completely freeze the keg so nothing comes out, and that is exactly what happened the first time I tried to brew an Eisbock. Now, I read online that about 10 hours is optimal to get this thing where we want it to be. So this has been in here for 10 hours now. Is it ready? Is there enough ice built up without freezing the whole thing? Well, I think the best way to find out is to give it a shake. Can you hear that? It sounds really slushy. I think it might be ready. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot. I think this is close and I don't want to completely over freeze this. So what I have prepared is a keg to move the beer into. I filled this with Star San and then pumped all the Star San out. So this is now a sanitized empty keg. Just need to purge it as well. So I will now connect a liquid post from the Eisbock keg into this fresh one and start transferring. Well, I think we're getting pretty close to done here. This is about halfway full. We only started with 4 gallons. This one, when I shake it now, I can feel there's ice there, but not hearing any slushy sounds now. So I think that's all of the Eisbock concentrate that I'm gonna get. Tastes like beery water, which I guess is about right because we really want all the alcohol and the flavour in that other keg. Not bad though. I don't know if I've ever been so excited for a tasting as this one.
This has been years in the making.
So at this point normally I'd share some fermentation notes about like what the ABV is of this beer. Well, it was an 8% beer before we froze it, so I think maybe sort of 11%. We'll see how...
Well, yeah.
To me, the biggest thing I noticed was it's significantly darker than the Doppelbock that we had last week. All right, man, let's go for it. Let's go for the taste. Our first ever Eisbock.
Cheers. If the other one was liquid bread, this is less liquid bread.
Just more like straight up bread.
Well, it definitely is richer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing overpowering. It's a rich, rich beer, but it doesn't feel heavy when you're drinking it. Some are kind of a sticky, come up front and at the end, and then there's all the caramelly profiles in between.
I wonder what this will taste like with a bit of age on it, because already it is quite complex and thick and tasty, and I guess with age it's going to get better.
It needs to age.
Yeah.
There's still some strong sweetness to it. Not overpowering, but that is only going to get better.
So, this is what is left of the beer after it was frozen. This is what was frozen and is now thawed out. So I was expecting this to look super watery.
Lighter.
Yeah, but it's dark as anything.
It looks watery, but let's get a glass.
Get a glass. All right.
Don't try this at home.
I actually did try it in frozen form, and
Oh, it's just slushy.
It was very, yeah, it was. It was like a watery slushy with a slight beer flavour. So we'll see what it's like warmed
It's
up.
good against the light.
Yeah.
I can totally see it through.
Yes.
So that's a really good sign.
Yeah, that is a sign that we pulled out the good stuff. Oh, it doesn't smell great either.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not sure I want to try this. I'll let you try it.
Thank you. Cheers. It doesn't taste bad because it doesn't really taste of.
It doesn't smell
Much
good,
at all.
I'll tell you that.
No,
Oh, it tastes like nothing.
tastes like nothing.
This? Yeah. Bye bye, Porter.
Yeah.
I'll drink this all winter.
This is the taste of success. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.